All right, so we got another 2 minutes until the market closes. Usually I will never trade this long, but since I'm on Eastern Standard Time, I decided to watch the market a little bit longer. I had some more time today, and I've been waiting for ASLN to crack $5. I want to say the whole day. I had a nice alert open, so I didn't have to watch the market like crazy. But all these breaks down to the downside. I was waiting for that big crack of $5. Never really happened. I think we did see 4.98 or 4.99. I would have to check again, but we never got that big crack, and that's what I was waiting for all day. We did get a nice little trade, and that one was right here. This was a if you check, I don't really want to pull it up right now, my trade journal, just because I want to watch the market these last 1 minute and 16 seconds. So let's just watch the market, and I'm going to fast forward this part, and then I'll start talking after we hear the bell. So let's just enjoy these last few moments and see what happens here with ASLN as the market closes. Woohoo! And ASLN just keeps on going, ended with a big red candle right here, and then the next drop was at 519 quickly, and then it looks like it recovered right afterwards. Here we go. There's that green candle I was waiting for. I was kind of wondering what it was doing. A lot of selling activity right here in the end of the day. I was just so happy that we were out of this trade. So let me quickly talk about the trade that we did do. Here you can see on the 2nd of December, so today, this is a closed trade. And nice position size. I really like the position size. So here you can see our average position size about $1,000, and now for this whole December we've increased our position size 20%. This trade was kind of a scratch, so I was looking for a second pullback, and I got the pullback, I got the entry on the pullback, but we didn't get that breakout. So let me quickly review that. Here we kept on not breaking the $5, and this is where I was like, oh man, like come on, I just want to see a dip past $5, because if we dip past $5 and we were ripping to 450, maybe low fours. I mean, those could have all been really interesting buying opportunities, as long as you saw the flip of buyers to sellers to buyers on the order book. But we didn't get that. So eventually the price broke to the upside, and then we pulled back here. This was the first pullback. I missed this one. I was too conservative. I placed my limit order around 5.2. Or actually, I don't even think I had a limit order for this one. I was just kind of watching it, and I was just like, what is going on? And then we had this second rally right here. And I was like, okay, I like this. So we're changing some direction here. We have a lot of resistance at $6. Let me see if we have a second pullback. And then maybe a break here to maybe a little above the $6, and I would sell into that, take my 40-cent profit, 50-cent profit, 60% profit, best case scenario. We didn't really get that. I got the nice pullback. I entered at 5.55, so pretty much pretty good entry. I was pretty happy. I mean, I could have probably squeezed another few cents out of that, but it's not about perfect entries and exits. It's about getting that meat of the move, and that's what we were going for. And then right around here at 5.65, 5.66, and all the way to 5.7, it was trying to break that area again and again and again. Didn't work. I eventually, there was huge sellers coming on the order book. There was like 200 sellers popping up, 150 sellers popping up, always here in the ask. And I was just like, oh man, there's a lot of overhead risk. The general direction is to the downside. This is already super overextended, blah, blah, blah. I didn't really want to be part of it. I closed the position, took my 2% scratch, and I was happy. Whatever, 26 bucks, I'll take it. So I'll never complain about a small profit or a small loss. That's just how it is sometimes. We didn't get any of the big dips today, and that's kind of what I want to talk about as the lesson of the day. So let's just get started with that. And my first kind of lesson, I would say today, and this is something that has been kind of reinforced over and over again, is I need to be a little bit more aggressive on buying the dips, especially the morning red to green moves, those morning panics, especially on those small caps that are a bit larger. So small caps that were around 200 million in market cap with a float around 30 to 50 to 60 million float or shares outstanding. I mean, once you get in that territory, sometimes you don't get those super quick moves, and there's just going to be a lot more dip buyers on a stock like this because they're not going to crash, 30% in a snap of a finger. So, on a lot of these stocks, I should be getting a little bit more aggressive. This would have been a perfect dip buying opportunity here in the morning with ASLN, and this is really the prime example because here in the watch list you can see, I mean, $5. Dollar volume over 100. That's really nice. 167 market cap, and that's after selling off from $8, and the shares outstanding 32. So this is exactly one of those larger small caps that I'm talking about. If we did this dip buy, you're risking, if the selling pressure isn't really doing much, and look, the volume's disappearing in this area. So, if you buy under the $6.50 and the selling pressure is slowing down, which means market orders aren't being executed, stop losses aren't really being executed, maybe a small amount, but there's no really aggressive selling. These could be great turnaround areas, and right away, this thing bounces 30%. So in the market open, you could be, you'd be taking profits. I would personally be taking profits much quicker, probably in the 7, 8, 9% area. But that's just a pure prime example. Then it comes back down here, crashes all the way down back to this support zone, even under the VWAP, lower VWAP area, and again 20% bounce. Again bounces back to this area, 7-8% bounce, has a double bottom here, 10% bounce. Here's a huge crack back to this $5 area, 5.20, 11% bounce. I mean, it was just doing this all day, so we probably could have been a little bit more aggressive, knowing that this is a large cap, or not a large cap, but a larger small cap. So that's really what I want to do. Now, another example is CLVS. This one, very similar to the way ASLN moves, and CLVS, one of those larger small caps. Again, if you check here, well, this one definitely is a larger small cap. This is almost getting into the mid cap. This is actually definitely a mid cap. So this is $600 volume. That's pretty big. 901 million market cap and 54 million shares that's outstanding. So this is pretty serious. It's also a little bit above the range that we typically want to be trading. We did trade this a few times in the past, back in these $3.50 area, and then here again at $4.20. So we've traded this quite often along this whole rally to the upside. We should have just held it, but that's not our strategy. That is a whole different strategy in a nutshell. One second, what I do here, I just got to delete that. So this one, if you just kind of go out a little bit, let's go to the 5-minute. And then maybe zoom in here a little bit. Let's scroll back over here. Okay, so what I like about this one, it has these really clear support zones that it bounces off of many times. For me, support zones are where previous breakout zones are. And if we just kind of draw a little, what's the easiest way to do this? Let me take out the dollar price key. Let me remove this marking of $14 quickly. It was a little bit in the way. And here you can see we had this morning rally, and we tried to break out here, got rejected, and then we eventually broke out from this area. So that to me is former resistance that we now broke out of. And so I'm going to go ahead and put a marker at $14. I think that's a really key level. We did eventually have that big pullback back to this area. We had a little bounce here. That bounce was very weak. And you got to be careful with the first bounce. The first bounce sometimes breaks through very quickly, and you typically want to buy back on the way up. You want to wait till that first bounce. There's a confirmation on the way up. So, we probably would have not done this one very well, or would have had to take a small profit. It went down 7%. So who knows? But ultimately, pre-market held its highs pretty well. And then here, the big morning panic, what do you know? Back to $14, where we had the big breakout zone and kind of where this huge volume was, where we held the highs very well. It's also a whole number. So, that also has it going for it. People like whole numbers. And this thing, went down again around 12%. So ASLN went down about 11%, CLVS about 12%. So these larger small caps aren't really, dipping that 20, 30, 40% in the morning. And these are all really good entry zones, especially around those whole numbers. So yeah, this could have been a really nice bounce play as well, especially as a secondary bounce. So we had a first big sell-off here. We had a failed breakout to the upside. Then we had a little bit of a bear flag here, and then we had a continuation here. And then, you know, this could have also been a really good entry on the first pullback right here. Trying to buy this dip right here. This could have been a really, really nice entry. But, you know, these are all little things that we somehow missed today. But I will say, I'm really, really happy that I was not over fixated on sleepers. So EVFM, top stock on our watch list today. And it just did not really do much of anything. You know, really was moving slowly the whole day. So I just stopped watching it. SAVA also not really doing much moving. You know, had these kind of dips to the downside, these really aggressive dips. We just didn't really touch that because, I mean, this is really choppy, kind of hard to trade, kind of forming a gun pattern. So this one might be an interesting overnight hold, actually, just because, you know, it's holding this high area. And there's a good chance that when a stock holds the high like this, it's going to continue in the morning or have a pre-market rally. So we're definitely going to put this one on the pre-market rally watch list. And then let's see what else. ORMP. Again, another one of those sleepers that really didn't do much all day. And, you know, you got to watch out with these stocks because they can take all of your attention and then you're completely going to, you know, miss some other stocks. And that's happened to us many times in the past. So, again, this one also kind of nice. I like how it's holding its highs. Well, it's almost holding its lows, but what I mean by that is, you know, we had a dip here, and it's kind of forming that little that trigger finger half circle right here, and then the barrels forming right here. So you kind of have that gun pattern, and a lot of these gun patterns like to break out the next day. So they're really good overnight holding patterns. But they're, you know, as a day trading in the morning, it's just really not doing too much. So these can really be distracting. And there's one more thing I want to say about EVFN. If you check over here, the market cap is 320, shares outstanding 446 million. Very, very high. So this is also a larger market cap. So, you know, go with that mindset and understanding that this is a larger market cap, a larger small cap, sorry guys. Looking for those whole numbers could be a lot better. And again, here, $6.5, one of those classic turnaround points. At, you know, 0.5 or something like that. This one bounces really, really nicely. And let's check out that kind of dip it made. It made, again, 11% dip before it found a nice reversal spot. And this is a 5-minute chart. So, you know, this thing was a very weak bounce, about, you know, 8-9% bounce. But just, you know, in, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 30, 35, 40. So maybe, yeah, under an hour, you could probably capitalize on this one. That's really long for day trading. So this is, again, a sleeper, but, you know, pretty safe, I would say, because these things aren't moving super fast. So these are larger small caps. And sometimes, you know, when those things really sell off and they find former breakout areas, just like this one did, those bounces could be really, really nice. So that's a little bit of my lesson for today. You know, if I'm trading one of these larger small caps, get a little bit more aggressive in the morning. Look for those red to green moves, especially near former breakout zones, especially if it's, you know, in the last 1 to 2 days, because those zones are a little bit more relevant. So yeah, overall, I'm, you know, pretty nice trading day today. Usually I won't be watching the market this long because we'll be trading in Europe. So we really focus only on the first, you know, 1 hour, first 2 hours, usually tops. But today I was able to dedicate a little bit more time to the market. So I enjoyed a little bit more trading today, and it was good fun watching the market. That's everything for this video, guys. I will see you again tomorrow for the live stream, so stay tuned for that one. If you guys are new here, definitely go ahead and give it a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon too if you guys are new. Otherwise, yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay safe and make some awesome trades. Till next time, ciao, ciao.